Satnam and welcome. I'm Barham Dave, and this is Yogic Living. As you can see, we're not up on the mountain today. So, what I want to talk about today is mantra and sound, how it affects you, how your vibration affects you. So, my teacher always said that if you vibrate the universe, that the universe will vibrate for you. And another thing he said, those who fail to pray, the world will prey upon you. So, what mantra is a prayer. So, don't get all like, oh well, I can't pray because I'm a Christian or I'm a Hindu or I'm Jewish or Muslim. No, it's again, Kundalini yoga has nothing to do with religion. It is what religion was built upon. What mantra is it stimulates the meridian points in your mouth, because there's all these different spots in your mouth that connect to different parts of your body. And if you're familiar with like Chinese acupuncture or even martial arts, get into it a bit, and different philosophies, they deal with these energy places in our body. And so one of the ways we can stimulate that is by moving our tongue. Our tongue is called our lingam, and so we use that to stimulate different points of our mouth. So when we're chanting a mantra, and we're chanting it in the correct way, we're bringing about a certain change in our body. And when we bring about a change in our body, we affect, the microcosm. But affecting the microcosm can affect the macrocosm, the outward, the inward, and outward. So in Kundalini Yoga, we kind of work from the in, out. And so what these mantras do, they were specially designed by, some of them are pretty old. Some of them are older than, than than there has been recorded time. But what they do is they stimulate those meridian points in a certain order, and they bring about this change. Now you may not be able to feel it right away, or maybe if you're really sensitive, you can. I know when, for me, the first time I went to a Kundalini yoga class, and we tuned in with the Adi mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo, I felt it. I felt a difference. I felt a shift. And so that's what these mantras are designed to do. They're designed to shift your reality. And so, of course, different mantras have different effects. One of my favorites is Pawan Guru. Now, Pawan Guru, so if you're not familiar with it, it's Pawana, 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 Pada Verda, Pawan Guru, Wai Guru, Pawan Guru. And so, what that does is it helps you to draw in your energy, because if you look at if you look at the definition of the words and the simulated English translation, it basically means that you're breathing the breath of God, the breath of the Guru. And so by chanting that, it helps you to connect with that breath of God, the breath of Guru, breath of the Guru, and it helps you to align your energy. Now, of course, there are hundreds, if not thousands, no, there are thousands of different mantras. The Sri Guru Granth is a book that the Sikhs, it's the Sikh holy book, and in it are a lot of the mantras that we use for Kundalini yoga, and in fact, the whole book is considered a mantra or a shabad. There's not that much difference between a shabad and a mantra. Shabad just means to cut, and so a shabad's a bit more powerful than your regular average mantra, I guess you'd say. And some of them are really long, like Sri Guru Granth. It's considered a mantra or shabad, and it takes 3 days to recite it if you go, from beginning to end. And or some of them are really short, like the Punch Shabad. So the Punch Shabad is Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Satanama, your 5 elements. And so it's just a matter of getting those mantras and chanting them and praying. And it helps you to change your environment, change the things around you. And that's what mantra really does. That's what prayer does. And so what we're doing is we're vibrating that sound. And we do it for a certain length of time. And so there's, depends on like when you want to get started, or like how advanced you are. Like for me, I don't have a problem doing chanting for, half an hour, an hour, 62 minutes. I don't have a problem doing that, but for some people that's a little overwhelming. And so it just depends on what your level is. So typically about 3 minutes will start to change. It typically around the 3-minute mark, it starts to affect the blood. It starts to affect your blood system. It starts to so like if you were doing something I'm going to use a pranayama in this case. Like if you're doing a breath of fire, it cleanses the blood. So if we were chanting, like Pavan Guru, if we were chanting Pavan Guru for 3 minutes, it would affect the bloodstream. If you chant something for 11 minutes, or you do something for 11 minutes, then what it starts to do is it starts to make a change. So, and if you chant it for 22 minutes, your negative mind, your positive mind, and your neutral mind all start to work together. If you chant it for 31 minutes, it affects the auric field around your body. And if you chant it for 62 minutes, it affects your pranic body, the energy fields around you. If you chant it for 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours is considered a daily practice. 2.5 hours is 10% of your day. So if you take 24 hours, do all the math, it comes out to 10%. And if you give 10% to God, God will, make up the rest. So it's a matter of taking that time, not for anybody else, for yourself. Yoga is a very selfish practice. And so by making that commitment, by using your time to pray, it helps to change you and your universe, hopefully for something better. So, how has mantra affected my life? Well, I started off doing mostly mantras when I first started doing Kundalini yoga, because I really loved chanting them, and I really loved the vibration it was bringing about. I'd probably say one of the best ones, and this is one I recommend doing to or for a lot of my newer students, is called pranapana. So it goes. What you do is you chant this all. You chant it 3 times in one breath. So you put your hands in Gyan Mudra with your fingers touching your thumb, and you chant Prana Bana Shushmanadi Nadia 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 Brana Bana Shushmanadi Nadia 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 Brana Bana Shushmanadi Nadia Nadia Nadia. So you chant that 3 times in one breath, like I just did. And what that does for you is it builds your aura so that all this radiation that we have going on, like the 5G, radio towers, everything, even the background radiation that, from things like natural disasters, like what happened in Fukushima and stuff like that. Well, I don't know, if sort of a natural disaster. Well, it was caused by a natural disaster at any rate. Breaching a giant nuclear center. Um, but at any rate, what that does is it builds your aura so that it protects you from all that radiation that we have in our environment. We have a lot of it today, unfortunately, in our environment. So that's one of the things I recommend to new people, and that's one of the mantras I first started doing when I first learned about it, because I I thought it was needed, and I probably should have did more of it. Considering because one of my jobs I worked at was in a security. I installed a security system, and the security system operated basically like a big cell phone, and it did a lot of damage to my aura, and so if I would have did that a little bit more, I wouldn't have had I wouldn't have had the issues. But I did use that to build my aura back up, and along with some other exercises as well. Um, Another mantra that has really affected me in a very positive way is Sade Sa Sa, or the Antarnad mantra. It's Sade Sa Sa Sade Sa Sa Sade Sa 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 Hunter Day Hana Hana Hunter Day Hana Hunter Day Hana Hana. So what that did for me is, because one of my challenges is my negative mind, and so that helped me to look at things in a more positive light. Also helped me, also because it affects both your negative mind and your subtle body. It helped me, and subtle body is one of my assets. So it helped me um, to really to get a hold of my assets and to use them in a positive light, and to not focus so much on the negative, and so to help to turn my negative mind into the protective mind, which is the positive aspect of the negative mind, and it helps you to spot danger and to know when there's an issue. And so those are some of the mantras that I do on a daily basis. that really helped to affect me. And so, and if you make that commitment, you'll notice a change. But the thing is to commit, to set that time aside, to set some time every day, no matter what, even if it's only 3 minutes, and just to to pray, to vibrate the universe. And so, well, let's say that you wanted to start, chanting a mantra. Well, which one do you choose? Because, like I said, there's hundreds of thousands of different mantras to choose. Well, go with what you like. I went with I went with the ones I like chanting in class. Those were probably. But if you want to get something more specific, more defined, check out my numerology video, and I'll put a link down below. Um, and it'll tell you that way you can figure out your numerology and figure out which mantra that would help you along the way, because I give those mantras in that video as well. All right. Well, Sat Nam, and I hope you found this this talk enlightening. And I hope you start, if you're not already doing it, I hope you start chanting some mantra. Waheguru kakasa, Waheguru kifate. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit that like button down there. And if you want to see more of these videos, or if you want to be notified next time I upload one of these videos, go ahead and hit that bell icon down there. And by the way, I did write a book all about my spiritual journey. And it talks about a lot of different things and the crazy things I've encountered over the years. It's called Why I Wear This Thing on My Head. If you want a copy of it, go ahead and I'll put the description of how you do that below, but you spend only $10 and I'll email you a copy. All right. Sat Nam.